Hi, Mr. Roland. Today I will be speaking to you about the relationship between the shoguns and daimyo, women in shogunate Japan, the samurai, and some great landmark states and islands of Japan. Women in shogunate Japan. Women in shogunate Japan had a boring way of life, especially if they lived in the fishing, mountain, farming areas. The women would have to do things like make clothes, prepare meals for the men. Sometimes they would have to wait until the men got home from fishing or hunting. They would also have to do gardening, take care of the cattle and vegetation. Women didn't get married for love. Often their parents would arrange marriages for them. Although women had to do all this work, they still had some great talents, such as writing books, poems, and paintings. It wasn't until the Han period that women got more rights. They were able to inherit properties in their own names, do votes, be in charge of properties, as well as to be educated. They were also able to choose their own partners. They were also able to rule Japan because people thought that they would bring peace to Japan. The samurai. In feudal times in Japan, they had soldiers such as the samurai who fought for their leader to claim land or buildings. The samurai had a warrior code that they had to follow, otherwise they wouldn't be a samurai. The code was known as Bushido, meaning loyalty and obedience and valuing honor above life. The samurais were required to learn 7 martial arts: archery, the spear, fencing, horse riding, military strategies, use of the firearms, and techniques of jiu-jitsu. Some samurais of a Buddhist religion were expected to take a carelessness with life through full control over the mind and the body. The samurais would also have to do, before battles, they would have to do a special meditation so they didn't get confused of thoughts and feelings. The weapons that the samurai used was a long, sharp blade and a flintlock. The flintlock wasn't until very late, though. The samurai also had big, thick, heavy armor. There were some myths surrounding the samurai. It was told that a good, sharp samurai blade cut through a silk of scarf that is dropped on the blade. A katakana chop can chop through a normal sword blade in battle. Swordsman would use the edge of his blade to block the opponent's attack. You can stop a downward strike by forcing the blade between the palms. A samurai wasn't allowed to put his sword back into his scabbard without drawing blood. Kyoto once was the capital of Japan. It's a city on the island of Honshu, with many Buddhist temples in the city. Kyoto has beautiful gardens, beautiful places, shrines, and wooden houses and golden houses. The city is also known for its traditions such as kasaki dining, having multiple precious dishes, and the geisha, a Japanese hostess, to entertain, dancing, and singing. The Sea of Japan. The Sea of Japan is a marginal sea from the Western Pacific Ocean, located between Asian land and Japan. It's bordered by Japan, North Korea, Russia, and South Korea. It's one of Japan's beloved landmarks. Mount Fuji. Mount Fuji is located on Honshu Island. It is the highest mountain in all of Japan. It is 3,776.24 meters high. It's an active volcano, well, sort of an active volcano, but it's still a little bit active, that last erupted in 1707 to 1708. Mount Fuji is 100 kilometers southwest of Tokyo, and on a sunny day you can see it. The Great Buddha. The Great Buddha of Kamakari, debushed in Japanese, is a monumental statue of the Amida Buddha in the city Kamaraki, standing in the grounds of Koto-in. The Great Buddha of Japan is one of Japan's icons. It weighs 93 tons and is 13 to 35 meters high. Nara. Nara is Japan's first permanent capital, as one of the country's most rewarding destinations. Nara has been the capital of Japan since 710 to 794, getting its name from the Nara period. The temples at Nara are known as Nanto, Setchi, Deji remained powerful even with the name of the political capital Han, Kyo, in 7943. The four main islands of Japan. The four main islands of Japan are Hokkaido, Honshu, Shikoku, and Kyushu. Hokkaido is in the northeast, and is the island's capital city is Sapporo. Honshu is the largest island of Japan, and it includes on it Tokyo and Osaka, Kyoto. Honshu is the seventh largest island in the world. Shikoku and Kyushu are in the south. Kyushu is in the extreme south, and Shikoku is in the south. Is to its Edo, also as Yedo or Yedo, is the original name of Tokyo. It was where the rulers used to set up camp, mainly for the Tokugawa shogunate, which ruled Japan from 1603 to 1868. During this period, it grew to become one of the largest cities in the world and home to an urban culture. The daimyo and the shoguns. The daimyo were the most powerful feudal rulers from the 10th century to the early 19th century in Japan, following the shoguns. The term daimyo is also sometimes used to refer to the leading figures of clans, also called lord. It was usually thought, not exclusively from these words, that a shogun arose or a regent was chosen. Shoguns. Shogun is a military rank and historical title in Japan. The Japanese word for general, it is made up of two kanji words, sho meaning commander, gun meaning army troops, or military. The modern rank is equivalent to generalissimo. A shogun's name in English is shogunate.